Hello everybody, it's Mark again from Atlas. Today I was going to go over making a Python script to do a little bit of, I guess we call it geoprocessing work. We've got a task that we do repetitively when we're doing QC work and things like that. And a lot of times it's easier if we know we're going to do it over and over again to write a Python script. So we can just get it done quickly and efficiently. For this one, we're going to read text from annotation, strip off some of the characters, keep things like the text height and angle, put that all into a shapefile for some of the stuff that we're going to use. Usually it's checking to make sure those values are within tolerances that we like, and we've got some other processes we use to run that. So we'll get started. We'll have our script editor here, Visual Studio Code, which if you don't use, I would recommend. It's free from Microsoft and it is really nice. I'm not going to make you watch me type everything, so do a lot of copy and paste, and I'll just kind of explain as we go. So the first thing we do is import some of our libraries. OS, ArcPy. From ArcPy, we're going to import the environment, and RE, the regular expression library, which we'll use in a minute. Up next, we're going to set some of our data sources. For right now, these are going to just be hard-coded in, but when you're using this for your purposes, you can definitely set those as variables, so you can pass in parameters and make your work a little easier. For right now, we're just going to set them hard-coded. So we've got an input feature class here, which is annotation. It's an acreage annotation. The directory where we're going to put all of our output stuff, and the name of our output feature class. And then we join those two to get a full path to our shapefile we make. Now, as it usually ends up happening, we have to run this more than once. So every time we run it, we want to check and see if it's already there. So we'll check the path of that file and see if it's there. If it is, we'll go ahead and delete it. And then we will set our workspace to our output directory. And the next thing we need to do is, since we just deleted it, we'll have to write stuff into it. We've got to create it. So we'll use the ArcPy create feature class management tool. And we'll point it at our output directory and the name of our out shapefile. And we're going to do points for this instead of keeping the polygons, because it's not really what we need. Up next, we're going to add some fields to this. We're going to keep some of the attributes from our annotation into this point feature class. So we're going to do the text, string, the height, the angle. We have text color. We're probably not going to use that today, but I throw it in there because sometimes I like to set different colors for the text based on different attributes for display in things outside of ArcMap. And there's my phone again. All right. So now on to the real work. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up a search cursor to loop through our annotation. So we'll use the width modifier to create a cursor that will be disposed as soon as it's done being used. We'll use the data access search cursor in our input feature class, and we're going to just keep these fields in our cursor, which is the shape, text string, font size, angle, and the object ID. Now for each one of these things, now for each row in our cursor, we're going to grab a couple of things. But in case it doesn't work, we're going to wrap it in a try-catch. So we need our shape, our geometry, which we're going to use the centroid. And you'll notice I'm doing indexes. So when you use these data access search cursors, you get a row, which is really just a tuple of values. So you go in order along these items you have listed here on your fields you're going to use in your cursor. And so row 0 is our shape, and we want the centroid of that. So we'll do dot centroid. That gives us the middle of that shape. Up next, we want the text string. Camel case this, and that'll be our second item. And then we're going to do our size and angle. And because sometimes these numbers get a little more precise than we need them to be, we're going to round them. We've also, you can see here in our output feature class, we've only set 2 decimal places, so we make sure we only put 2 decimal places in the input here. And that will retrieve all the data we need, but that's not the only thing we're doing. We're also going to put that into a output feature class, right? After we read them. So above where we started our search cursor, let's do an insert cursor. So the insert cursor is going to go to our output feature class, which would be that text file we set up earlier. And then for each one of these items, we'll collect the values, and then what we'll have to do is insert them into our output. For now, I'm just setting our colors here. Everything's going to be black for now. Maybe another time we'll set those based on some attribute or some condition. So let's finish out our exception here. And I think what we're going to have to do is, for right now anyway, is just, print out to the console when things don't go well. Now, as you can remember, I said one of the things that we wanted to do was remove some of the extra stuff from this text string as we go. And what we've got in our text is characters. We want just the numbers. There's some characters in there that we may not want. So we're going to use our regular expression here to find any characters in the string and replace them with nothing, and then remove any spaces. That will just return that. So it's a little function there that takes our input text, strips off the stuff we don't want, returns it. But we need to do that on our data. So we'll say strip text to use that function there. All right, so that's the meat of it. And now all we really need to do is test it. So let's go ahead and save it, and we'll run it through our debugger and see if we messed anything up. Oh, did we not? Oh, that didn't quite catch on, did it? Okay, so sorry, I had to look at my environment, and I didn't have my Python set correctly, which if you look down here in this bottom corner of your Visual Studio Code there, it'll tell you which one you're running. This is our Python 2.7, which is now on its way out, unfortunately. All right, let's try this again. We're going to do a little debug. We'll run this Python file through there. Let's see what happens. And there we went. Finished up, no errors. So let's hop on over here to our ArcMap session and take a peek. So in here I have the text that the acreage text, the annotation that we were working off of. And let's just bring in our, oh, we didn't set the spatial reference, but we can take care of that. So here's our acreage text, and take a quick peek here, and we'll see that now we removed all those characters from our text string, and we've set our color, we got our text height and angle, and now we can use this for whatever other purposes we need. All right. Thanks for watching.